Yes, lastly we had done with question number 13 and 14 was given in homework. Look at question number 15, everyone, be attentive. Understand it properly, then one question you'll be trying on your own. Page number 33, question number 15. Yes, be attentive. Compute basic EPS based on the following information for the year 2013 to 14. See, we have to find EPS for which year? What is asked? Find or compute the EPS for the year 13 to 14. But you are given 2 years information. 12 to 13 the net profit was 3,60,000. For 13 to 14 it was 12 lakhs. Number of equity shares outstanding on 1/1/13. 13 means in the beginning of current year, 4 lakhs. And bonus issue on 1st June 2013. Instead of 1/1/13, make it 1/4/13. In the last information, make it 1/4/13. Bonus issue on 1st June 2013. 2 equity shares for each equity share outstanding on 1/4/13. Means 2:1 is the ratio. 2 equity shares for each equity share outstanding. So 2:1. And then 2 equity shares for each share below that, right? 2:1. Now, how many equity shares are outstanding on 1/4/13? 4 lakhs. Means bonus shares will be 4 lakhs into 2 by 1, 8 lakhs. Bonus shares will be 2 for each. So for one share, 2 bonus shares for 4 lakhs. How many? 4 lakhs into 2 by 1, 8 lakhs. Did you understand that? Now, actual issue is on 1st June 2013, but we studied that bonus should be taken from earliest period reported. So, if we are finding the EPS for 12 to 13 also and 13 to 14 also and reporting it to the shareholders, then we should include this 8 lakh shares even in the year 12 to 13. Though the shares are issued, bonus shares of 8 lakhs are issued in the year 13 to 14. But if you are reporting to the shareholders 2 years EPS, 12 to 13 and 13 to 14, then you will include this bonus shares from the year 12 to 13. Otherwise, I told you earlier, what will happen? If we include 8 lakh shares only, 13 to 14, 13 to 14 is EPS will go down because of more number of shares in the denominator. 13 to 14's EPS will go down. That will reveal wrong impression about the company. Because 8 lakh shares you are issuing but not getting the money. So profit is definitely not going to increase. So what we have to do when we report to the shareholders, even in 12 to 13 we will include 12 lakh shares, and even in 13 to 14 we will include 12 lakh shares. Means how to report it to the shareholders, understand it. Make 2 columns. Particulars 12 to 13 and 13 to 14. Are there any preference shares given? Yes or no? No. Means can I say profit, net profit given to you itself is the profit attributable to equity shareholders? So what is the profits attributable to equity shareholders in 12 to 13? Yes, how much? 3,60,000. And in 13 to 14, how much? 12 lakhs. Then, number of equity shares. Number of equity shares in 12 to 13 also 4 lakhs. In 13 to 14 also 4 lakhs. Plus in 13 to 14 there is bonus issue. Okay, plus in 13 to 14 there is issue of bonus shares also. What is the ratio of bonus issue? 2:1 means for each equity share, means for one equity share 2 are given in bonus. So for 4 lakh shares, how many will be given in bonus? 4 lakh into 2 by 1. 8 lakh shares will be given in bonus. You can say total number of equity shares. In 12 to 13 is 4 lakhs. And in 13 to 14 is 12 lakhs. Okay. Now, basic EPS is equal to profits attributable to equity shareholders divided by weighted average number of equity shares. Okay. Basic EPS is profits attributable to equity shareholders divided by weighted average number of equity shares. Actual EPS of 12 to 13 is how much? 3,60,000 profits attributable to equity shareholders divided by number of shares 4 lakhs means 0.9, and 13 to 14 12 lakhs divided by 12 lakhs. Profits attributable to equity shareholders 12 lakhs divided by weighted average number of equity shares 12 lakhs. What is the actual EPS of 13 to 14? 1. But what will be reported to the shareholders? See here, actual EPS of 12 to 13 is 0.9. But what we will report to the shareholders is 3,60,000 divided by 12 lakhs. Means for the purpose of reporting, we will assume that bonus shares were issued in the earliest period reported. You are reporting it for 2 years, means we will take bonus effect from 12 to 13. So when you report to the shareholders, instead of 360 upon 4 lakhs, we will report 3,60,000 divided by 12 lakhs. That is 0.3. And here 12 lakhs upon 12 lakhs, that is 1. This will give the idea about the correct profitability of the company. That from 0.3, the EPS has increased to 1 rupee. Is everyone clear with it? So, actual EPS of 12 to 13 is 0.9. But what will be reported to the shareholders as EPS of 12 to 13? 0.3. This is for company purpose and this is for reporting purpose. And you are not reporting anything wrong. Because basically here you issue 8 lakh shares but you don't get any money. So denominator is increasing but numerator, if you don't invest any money in the business, profit is not going to increase. So by giving the bonus shares, why should you give a wrong impression to the shareholders that the profits has gone down? Profits have really not gone down. It is just that the number of shares has increased without getting any money to the company. So when you report it to the, in case if you report it for the last 5 years, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 12 to 13, 13 to 14, 4 years, then you will include this 8 lakhs from the year 10 to 11. Means all the bonus shares issued in between the years will be included from the earliest period reported. Did everyone understand this? That's why which subject you are studying? Financial reporting. We are studying the reporting standards in this subject. The actual EPS is 0.9. But when you report it to the shareholders in the annual balance sheet, this will not be shown only. 0.9 just will not be shown. You will directly show to the shareholders that last year's EPS is 0.3 and current year's EPS is 1. So profitability has increased by 3 times. Did everyone of you understand that? Any confusions? Why should you report to the shareholders that your profits have really not increased only? Because they are not supposed to increase. 8 lakh shares you have issued to the shareholders but you did not get any money. Until you get the money, you reinvest in the business, your profits are not going to increase. So bonus shares company is just going to capitalize the reserves. And shareholders' wealth increases because they become owner of more number of shares. So doing something for the benefit of shareholders, you cannot reveal negative aspect of the company. So when you report it to the shareholders, you report that the EPS is 0.3 and 1. Because bonus shares as such have no effect on the earnings of the company. So we assume bonus shares are issued in the earliest period reported. If you are reporting it for the last 5 years, we will assume as if bonus shares were issued 5 years ago. So all the years how the profit is going to be affected. Is everyone clear with this? Question number 16. No, not 16. 16. I'll discuss and you'll do it on your own period. PQR Limited had substantial reserves and surplus. The net profit made during the year ended on 31st March 2011 and 31st March 2012 were 12 crores and 16 crores. So, which is the first year? 10 to 11. 31st March 2011 means the year is 10 to 11. And second year? 11 to 12. What is the profits? 12 crores for 10 to 11 and 16 crores for 11 to 12. The company made a bonus issue of underlying 2 equity shares for each share outstanding on 1st April 11. So, 1st April 11 means 10 to 11 or 11 to 12? 1st April 11? 11 to 12. Bonus is made in the second year. How much bonus is made in the second year? 2:1. On the date of bonus issue, the company had 30 lakh equity shares of 10 each fully paid up. Means in the first year we have 30 lakhs, but in the second year 30 lakhs plus 30 lakhs into 2 by 1, 60 lakhs. Means in the second year what are the total number of shares? 90 lakhs. So actual EPS will be calculated on the basis of 30 lakh and 90 lakh shares. But when you report it to the shareholders, then you report it dividing both of them by 90 lakhs. Did everyone understand this? So calculate basic EPS for the year 10 to 11 and 11 to 12. You'll find 2 EPS, basic EPS also and reported EPS also. Completed everyone? Check your answers for question number 16 everyone. 2 years are 2010 to 11 and 11 to 12. First of all, profits are 12 crores and 16 crores. Then number of shares are 30 lakhs. And bonus issue is again 2:1. So against 30 lakhs, 30 lakhs into 2 by 1, that is 60 lakhs. So total number of equity shares in the first year are 30 lakhs, but in the second year they are 90 lakhs. Now basic EPS of 10 to 11 is 12 crores divided by 30 lakhs is rupees 40, and here 16 crores divided by 90 lakhs, that is 17 point. Now see, this will give the wrong impression to the shareholders. If you report the actual EPS, they will feel from 40 it has come down to 17.78, which will reveal that company's profits are going down, which is not actually. It is just going down because not the profits has gone down, because number of shares has gone up without getting any money to the company. So definitely profits are not going to increase, but the number of shares has increased. So when we report to the shareholders, we will do 12 crores divided by 90 lakhs. That comes to 13.33. And here 16 crores divided by 90 lakhs. That comes to 17.78. Now the shareholders will get the correct idea. The profit has not gone down, it has gone up only. From 13.33 it has gone up to 17.78. Is everyone clear with this? So, any confusions? Homework will be 17-18. Do you want to practice more on this, or everyone is clear with it?
Clear.
Okay, clear, then take the homework. 17-18. And these are more simple because bonus is also directly given. You don't have to find these shares by making the equation. See that? From the following details of XYZ Limited for 13 and 14 calculate basic EPS. Equity shares of 10 each fully paid upon 1/1 make it 2014. Now this is calendar year or financial year? Calendar year. So don't write 13, 14, 14, 15. You'll simply write 2013, 2014. Is everyone clear with this? Now, equity shares on 1/1/2014 10 lakhs means initially in both the columns how many number of equity shares you'll take? 10 lakhs. Bonus issue on 1/6/2014 means in the second year. In the second year how much of bonus is directly given? 10 lakhs. So in the second year you'll take 10 lakhs plus 10 lakhs? 20 lakhs. And in the first year you'll take only 10 lakhs. Any confusions? Net profit for 2013 45 lakhs and 2014 60 lakhs. So initially you'll find 45 lakhs divided by 10 lakhs and 60 lakhs divided by 20 lakhs. But for reporting purpose you'll do 45 lakhs also divided by 20 lakhs and 60 lakhs also divided by 20 lakhs. Right everyone? Exactly similar is 2000 question number 18 for 2013, 14, 15. So mark it as homework. I'm not discussing it now. And from university's paper set, page number 38, question 16b. That is also a similar one where you can see that bonus shares are directly given. Make a line, make a correction, make line from bonus shares issued on 1/8/14 to 25 lakhs. And make a line from net profit 13-14 to 60 lakhs. And make a line from net profit 14-15 to 80 lakhs. Okay, and question 18, given 17b. Anyone 18b? You want to be done in the class then? Take it as homework. They all are similar, only no need to waste time. We'll take up the next concept. So, part 2 of the chapter give the heading diluted EPS. Now, what is diluted EPS? Understand the concept first, everyone. Be attentive. See, first of all, equity shares are of two types. Listen carefully, everyone. One is existing equity shares. The other is potential equity shares. Now, existing equity shares are existing equity shares. Whatever equity shares are issued by the company right now, they are included in existing equity shares. But potential equity shares means those securities, they are not equity shares right now, they are securities right now. But they have potential of becoming equity shares in future. Okay, presently they are not equity shares, but they have potential of becoming equity shares in future. For example, convertible debentures. Presently they are debentures, but in future convertible means they get converted into equity shares. So these debentures have potential of becoming equity shares in future. They are called potential equity shares. Convertible preference shares. Presently they are preference shares, but they have potential of becoming equity shares in future. Then we also have warrants, share warrants. I'm not writing it because practical examples are not included. Practical examples you have only on these two things: convertible debentures and convertible preference shares. But other securities are also there. Warrants are issued to employees under ESOS, Employees Stock Option Scheme. There we give the warrants to the employees wherein at a future date they have an option. Therefore, this is stock option scheme. At a future date, employees have an option to buy the equity shares at a price lower than the market price. So these warrants also have potential of becoming equity shares in future. They all are included in potential equity shares, but you will have primarily examples on only convertible debentures and convertible preference shares. Okay. Whatever EPS is calculated considering existing equity shares is called basic EPS, which we studied in the first part, and everywhere we had taken existing shares. And whatever EPS is calculated taking into consideration existing equity shares plus potential equity shares is called diluted EPS. Okay, whatever EPS is calculated taking into consideration only existing EPS is called, existing equity shares is called basic EPS, and whatever EPS is calculated taking into consideration existing shares as well as potential equity shares is called diluted EPS. Now why diluted word is used? See here, these debentures and preference shares are going to get converted into equity shares in future. Means presently whatever is the earning distributed between existing number of shareholders, will the earnings in future be distributed between more shareholders or not? Suppose presently these are the equity shareholders and these two rows are debenture holders holding convertible debentures, and last four rows are preference shareholders holding convertible preference shares. Presently whatever profits company is earning is distributed only between these people. These people means 3, 5, 7, 10, 13, 15, 17. Presently the profit is distributed between 17 people. After 3-4 years, when debentures also get converted into equity shares, preference shares also get converted into equity shares, then the earnings of the company instead of 17 shareholders will be distributed between 25-26 shareholders. Will the earning per share go down or not? It will go down, it will get diluted, it will get decreased. So the EPS is called diluted EPS. Diluted means distributed between more number of people. Dilution of control takes place. Because presently the control is between less number of people, in future the control will be between more number of people. Did anyone of you understand this? So why the term diluted is used? Because diluted EPS will include existing shares as well as potential shares. So including the potential shares, the earnings will be distributed amongst more number of shares. Per share earning will go down. So it is called diluted EPS. In case the per share earning goes up, why it goes up that we'll discuss in detail in the coming lectures, but in case the per share earning goes up, then the security instead of diluted is called anti-diluted. If EPS goes down, then we say that these securities are diluted securities. If the EPS goes up, then we say that these securities are anti-diluted securities. But generally it should go down only. Is anyone of you clear with this? Let it know. So anyone who is not clear with the concept of diluted EPS? The formula can be written this way, just 1 minute. That diluted EPS is equal to revised profits attributable to equity shareholders divided by Himalaya B&F revised weighted average number of equity shares. Means, what is this revised? Understand it. Formula is same, but the word revised is prefixed in the numerator as well as in the denominator. So far for basic EPS we used to write profits attributable to equity shareholders. Now we write revised profits. And so far for switch it off. So far for basic EPS we used to write revised gains. Now we write we used to write simply gains. Now we write revised gains. What is this revised? Including potential is called revised. So we find the profits as if the debentures and preference shares have got converted into equity shares. So give it here fast. Give it here. So difficult to switch it off. Yes, be attended. So, if we find the profits as if debentures and preference shares have got converted into equity shares right now itself, then that profits are called revised profits. And we find the number of shares as if debentures and preference shares have got converted right now itself. So that is called diluted EPS. Read on this formula? Read on that? Look at question 1, page number 36. NDA Corporation had 1000 equity shares outstanding on 1st January 2014. The company issued 500 equity shares for cash on 1st July 2014. And the company had converted convertible debentures into 500 equity shares on 1st October 2014. Underline this sentence. Calculate the weighted average number of equity shares as on 31/12/14. Now understand this difference. The sentence which you have underlined. The company had converted convertible debentures into 500 equity shares on 1st October 2014. When you find basic EPS, then you take the equity shares from 1st October. They are actually getting converted into equity shares on which date? 1st October. So from 1st October they become equity shares. But when we find diluted EPS, then convertible debentures of 500 which are going to get converted into equity shares on 1st October, for the purpose of diluted EPS, we will take them from 1st April itself. For the purpose of diluted EPS, we will take them from right now as if they are equity shares right now itself. So for diluted EPS, instead of 1st October, what date will you take for converted debentures? 1st April. Then only the number of shares would increase. Sorry, 1st January, beginning of the year. Okay. So when we find basic EPS, then you will take actual equity shares from 1st October. But when you find diluted EPS, then instead of 1st October, same debentures will be taken from 1st January. Okay. In basic EPS, we take them as actual equity shares. And actual equity shares occur on which date? 1st October. For diluted EPS, we take them as potential equity shares. And potential exists from the beginning of the year. Potential of getting converted into equity shares means debentures already exist from the beginning of the year. Did everyone understand this? So calculate the weighted average number of shares as on 31/12/14. Okay, did you understand the difference? For the purpose of basic EPS, when are they actually becoming equity shares? 1st October. But for the purpose of diluted EPS, the debentures are there from the beginning of the year. So they have potential of equity shares. Becoming equity shares means potential equity shares. Debentures already exist from the beginning of the year. Is everyone clear with this difference? The question asked is only on weights. They say calculate weighted average number of shares on 31/12/14. First we have to find weights for basic EPS, and then again we have to make the same table for diluted EPS. So give the heading. Weighted average number of equity shares weighted average number of equity shares. In bracket, this is for the purpose of basic EPS. Okay, this is for the purpose of basic EPS. Date, particulars, number of shares, balance, weights and weights. Understand it first, then you can write it down. Be attentive. For basic EPS on 1/1/2014, we have opening balance of how many shares? 1,000 shares. Then 1st July 2014, issue of shares is taking place. How many shares? 500, 1,000 plus 500, 1,500. And then 1 October 2014, debentures converted into equity shares. How many debentures are, in fact, how many equity shares they are converted into? 500. So from 1st October there are 2,000 equity shares. Is everyone clear with this? January to July means 6 months. July is not included. Then July, August, September, 3 months. And then October, November, December, 3 months. What is 1,000 into 6 by 12? 500. 1,500 into 3 by 12? 375. 2,000 into 3 by 12? 500. So 1,375. So this is as usual, we have been doing it. Now same thing if you find for diluted EPS, then instead of weighted we will call it as revised weighted average number of equity shares. And this will be for the purpose of diluted EPS. Okay, this will be for the purpose of diluted EPS. Date, particulars, number of shares, balance, weights and weights. Now here when you find it, what is the difference? Understand it. 1/1/14, we will take the opening balance of 1,000 shares. Now this converted debentures, which are actually converted into equity shares on 1st October, as a potential equity share, we will take it from the beginning of the year. As a potential equity share. Potential equity shares means debentures, convertible debentures. We'll take it from the beginning of the year. Because do the debentures exist from the beginning of the year or not? So as a potential equity share, they are already there in the company from the beginning of the year. So 1,000 plus 500, 1,500. And then on 1/7/14 we will take issue of shares. 500. 1,500 plus 500, 2,000. But the weights will change now. 1/1/11, 1/1/17, and then 1/7 to 31st December, 6 by 12. This will be 0. 1,500 into 6 by 12, 750. 2,000 into 6 by 12, 1,000. What is that? 1/7. See, as I said, considering potential equity shares, do the number of shares increase or not? Basic EPS would be divided by 1,375. Diluted EPS would be divided by you divide it by more number of shares, would the EPS come down or not?
Yes.
That is called diluted EPS because it decreases. Did everyone understand this? So, any confusion with this question? For basic EPS, actually equity shares come into existence from 1st October. For diluted EPS, as a potential equity share, they already exist in the company from 1st January. Understood this? Completed. More practice on that we will do tomorrow. Okay? Already a lot of homework, so I am not giving it. We will do tomorrow more practice.